The biggest lie you have ever been told is that you are the master of your own choices. You think you bought that car because of its safety rating? You think you voted for that candidate because of their policy? You think you support that cause because of your values? You did not. Every major decision you have made in the last decade was likely engineered in a boardroom 3 years before you felt the impulse. You are living in a psychological landscape designed to keep you in a constant state of reaction. Logic is a luxury the modern world does not want you to afford. Because logic takes time, but fear and emotion, they take milliseconds. They bypass the prefrontal cortex and go straight for the jugular. As the legendary master of strategy Robert Greene writes in the 48 Laws of Power, people are more motivated by the fear of loss than the tactical hope of gain. We are biologically wired to run from the tiger faster than we run toward the fruit. And then there is Edward Bernays, the man who turned citizens into consumers. He famously stated, "If we understand the mechanism and motives of the group mind, is it not possible to control and regiment the masses according to our will without their knowing it?" If you are listening to this and feeling a cold realization, a sense that the strings attached to your limbs are finally becoming visible, then you belong with us. We are not building a fan base. We are building a community of 100,000 elite minds. This is not a place for the casual scroller. It is a sanctuary for those who refuse to be programmed. We are decoding the matrix of human influence, one layer at a time. Subscribe to join. Fear is not just an emotion. It is an operating system. In the United States, fear is the primary currency of the economy. Look at the insurance industry. A trillion-dollar empire built entirely on the what if. They do not sell you a policy. They sell you a vision of your family starving in a gutter because you were not responsible enough to plan for your death. This is the foundation of fear influence. It is the limited time offer that triggers your scarcity reflex. It is the breaking news alert that keeps you glued to the screen, convinced that the world is ending outside your front door. When you are afraid, your IQ literally drops. You become easier to herd. You become a follower. Think about the last time you felt urgent anxiety to buy something. Like this video if you recognize the trap. But fear is loud. The real danger is the quiet influence, emotional appeal. This is the art of making you fall in love with a corporation. Take a look at the most successful American brands. Nike does not sell shoes. They sell greatness. Apple does not sell computers. They sell rebellion. They wrap their products in the flag of your own identity. They use your nostalgia, your desire for status, and your need for belonging against you. The great psychologist Viktor Frankl once said, "Between stimulus and response there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response." The goal of modern marketing is to vanish that space. They want the stimulus and the response to be the exact same moment. Blaise Pascal, the brilliant mathematician, understood this centuries ago. The heart has its reasons which reason knows nothing of. If they can capture your heart, your brain will spend the rest of the day inventing logical reasons to justify why you spent $1,200 on a phone you did not need. Comment below. What is one brand that has a grip on your emotions? Be honest with yourself. Let us dig deeper into the history of this manipulation. In the early 20th century, the American tobacco industry had a problem. Women did not smoke in public. It was a social taboo. They were losing 50% of their potential market. They hired Edward Bernays. He did not run ads saying cigarettes taste good. He rebranded cigarettes as torches of freedom. He tied the act of smoking to the burgeoning women's suffrage movement. He turned a deadly habit into a symbol of liberation and emotional empowerment. This was not a logical choice. It was a psychological hijacking. He targeted their desire for equality and their fear of being suppressed. This is the same mechanism used today in Silicon Valley. Social media algorithms are not designed to connect you. They are designed to addict you. Every notification is a hit of dopamine, and every lack of engagement is a subtle trigger of social fear. The fear of being irrelevant. The fear of being left behind. They have mapped the human psyche and found the backdoors that we did not even know existed. The most lethal form of influence happens when you combine fear with emotional appeal. In the United States, this is the engine of political warfare. It is not about policy anymore. It is about the other side is coming for your way of life. They take your deepest emotional bond, your home, your family, your heritage, and they tell you it is under threat. This creates a state of hyperarousal. You are not thinking. You are defending. You are not a citizen. You are a soldier in a psychological war you did not volunteer for. Share this with one person who still thinks they are unbiased. Wake them up. When you see a commercial with a shivering puppy and a sad song, that is not information. That is an emotional hijack. When you see a political ad with dark shadows and distorted voices, that is not a debate. That is a fear gate. The 1% understand these triggers. They use them to build empires, start movements, and maintain the status quo. The 99% are simply the keyboard players in a symphony they cannot hear. Consider the diamond industry. Before the late 1930s, engagement rings were not a standard. De Beers launched a campaign that linked the size of a diamond to the depth of a man's love and the security of a woman's future. They created the slogan, "A diamond is forever." They manufactured a tradition out of thin air. They used the fear of being seen as cheap and the emotional appeal of eternal romance to create a multi-billion-dollar necessity for a rock that is not actually rare. This is how reality is constructed for you. You are told what to want, what to fear, and what to love. Your subconscious mind is a garden, and if you are not planting your own seeds, someone else is planting theirs. And their seeds are designed to produce a harvest that benefits them, not you. If you are starting to see the patterns, you are starting to realize that the world is much more fragile than it looks. The systems of control rely on your ignorance. They rely on you staying in that reactive state. They want you to be angry. They want you to be scared. Because an angry, scared person does not ask questions. An angry, scared person buys things and follows leaders. Most people will finish this and go right back to reacting. They will see a sale and feel the itch. They will see a breaking news headline and feel the panic. They will remain users in every sense of the word. They will continue to let the television and the smartphone dictate their heart rate. They will continue to justify their impulses with post-facto logic. But you have stayed this long because you have felt the friction. You have realized that the most valuable real estate on earth is not in Manhattan or Silicon Valley. It is the 6 inches between your ears, and everyone is fighting for a piece of it. You have realized that your attention is the most precious resource you possess, and you have been giving it away for free to people who do not have your best interests at heart. We are not here to give you answers. We are here to give you the lens to see the questions. We are building a legacy of clarity in an age of manufactured chaos. We are stripping away the layers of influence until only the raw truth remains. This is a journey that requires courage, because once you see the truth, you can never go back to the comfort of the lie. You can never go back to being a passive observer in your own life. The world is designed to keep you asleep. We are the alarm clock. We are the voice in the dark reminding you that you have a choice. We are the signal in the noise. Subscribe to secure your perspective. Choose to be the architect of your own destiny, not just another brick in their building. The door is open. The choice is yours. Let us analyze the shift from being a citizen to being a consumer. In the United States following the World Wars, the industrial capacity of the nation was immense. To keep the machines running, the people had to be taught to want things they did not need. This was the birth of modern consumerism. It was an intentional psychological shift. They stopped selling the quality of a coat and started selling the prestige of owning it. They stopped selling the utility of a car and started selling the freedom it supposedly represented. This is the core of emotional appeal. It is the substitution of substance with symbolism. You are not buying a product. You are buying a version of yourself, a better, faster, richer version. And the fear? The fear is the threat that without this product, you are stagnant, you are invisible, you are failing. This cycle is endless. There is always a new version. There is always a better model. There is always another reason to feel inadequate. This inadequacy is the fuel of the economy. If you were truly content, the system would collapse. Therefore, the system must ensure you are never truly content. It must constantly manufacture new fears and new desires to keep you on the treadmill. You see it in the way health and beauty are marketed. They identify a flaw you did not know you had, and then they sell you the cure. They create a fear of aging, a fear of being unappealing, a fear of being normal, and then they offer the emotional relief of their product. It is a brilliant, vicious loop. The elite minds recognize this loop. They step outside of it. They understand that true power is not found in the accumulation of symbols, but in the mastery of one's own impulses. They understand that the most powerful weapon in the world is a mind that cannot be manipulated by fear. This community is for those who want to reclaim that power. This is for the ones who want to understand the why behind their what. We are looking for the 100,000 who are ready to stop being the harvest and start being the farmer. Subscribe to join the transition. Do not just watch the world happen to you. Start happening to the world.